Werewolves in London. Down 25 against the Thunder. No big deal. No big deal. Ant got hurt. Down 3 starters. No big deal. Just no problem. Love it, man. So doing up some Q&A. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions. I think we repeated a question yesterday. It happens, man. Anyways, diving on in. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions. We're going to get better at these. Cap Grand Scribe. Nailed it. How long do you think Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell should have to get us to an NFC Championship game until they're fired? It shouldn't be too long, in my opinion. I think that J.J. McCarthy's rookie deal, if the Vikings if they haven't at least made it to an NFC title game or pushing for Super Bowls, that's it. Right, even though Kevin O'Connell got a 5-year deal, Kwesi's probably going to get something similar to that. Basically, they have 4 years. 4 years to figure out what the hell is going to be going on with his team, get J.J. McCarthy's sea legs under him, and go from there. Because, this is the window. The competitive advantage having a starting quarterback on his rookie deal, spend a lot of cash elsewhere. You took on the dead cap last year, so you got a ton of money to spend. Go get it. Go get some. So I'd say 4 years. All right, so 25, 26, 27, 28. It's what Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi have. Next. Hans Meyer, which scenario do you prefer? Vikings take UNC running back Amari Hampton at 24 and draft J.J. Pegus at 97. 2 running backs. Nailed it. All right, so Ole Miss, because Lane Kiffin is just a maniac. J.J. Pegus had 7 rushing touchdowns last year. Basically the fridge. He is a plus-size nose tackle. I love him. Man. Or number 2, Vikings draft Michigan nose tackle Kenneth Grant at 24 and R.J. Harvey, the pride of UCF, at 97. So I have no problem with either of these scenarios. Honestly, you could say toss a coin. I will say, though, how do you slice this up? Like, who do you think is going to be a superstar? I think Hampton has a chance to be an absolute star. I think that he has a chance to be. I know the David Montgomery comps are out there. I think he's a little bit more Josh Jacobs. I think he has a little bit more wiggle than he's given credit for. Yeah, so I think Hampton has a chance to be a star in this league. Kenneth Grant is a physical freak, and you're betting on the upside there. R.J. Harvey's pretty damn fantastic as well, just like a sawed-off MJD. I think that he would be great value at 97. Pegus is great too. But in terms of overall absolute ceiling, I may go Grant and Harvey because I think Harvey has a chance to be an RB1 in this class. Like, if this is a normal running back class, I think Harvey clearly goes in round 2. Probably is a top 5 running back, but since there's so many good running backs in this class, he's seen as top 10 adjacent type guy. Pegus is great. I think that his ceiling might be capped a lot less than obviously Kenneth Grant's is, and Hampton's going to be Hampton, but I think that Harvey has a chance to be a plus starter. I think Grant has a chance to be an all-pro. So I'll go with the latter, but it's really close. Love that question. Next, Viking G. My name is Jeff. Do you have a prospect that you're most interested to see at the Combine? Not Chris Jones again. Hopefully no one Chris Jones is at this Combine. But overall, I want to see Kenneth Grant just completely destroy this Combine. Cam Jackson, Deion Walker, some of the plus-size Pegus, some of the plus-size nose tackles. I mean, just see these physical freaks in action. Plus, I want to see how the larger running backs test, because we know that Hampton has really good straight line speed. How does he do in the agility drills if he tests there? Khalil Mullings from Michigan, Devin Neal from Kansas, Rocket Sanders from South Carolina. Questions about agility there, and also Ollie Gordon. Plus, I don't know. I just don't know what it is. Like, I want to love Ollie Gordon more than I do. I like him. I want to love him, except I just can't. I don't know. But for guys like Devin Neal, I really want to see what his 40 is. On tape, he's obviously not a burner, but can he check some boxes, especially like a short area quickness-wise, explosiveness? But because mainly like a lot of corners that we like, they're going to check the box, and some guys are just going to completely blast this thing out of the gym. There shouldn't be too many deficiencies out there, but I guess we'll see. Next. Isaac Cackley, OG Jerome. How many draft picks does Kwesi end up with in this year's draft? My guess is 6. Love the content. Hey, thank you. I think that the Vikings will end up with 7. I think that Kwesi somehow, some way will end up with 7, potentially trading down from 24. Honestly, could see a trade down from 97, which could just make day 2 draft coverage just awesome, or potentially breaking down one of the 5th round picks and turn that into a couple of 6 or 6 and a couple of 7s, because at that stage of the draft is just sort of pretty flat. So mainly getting there in volume. Plus, we always said the reason why Rick Spielman loves 7th round picks is because generally they're cheaper than UDFAs, and also you don't have to bid with other teams for undrafted free agents. And people don't know this. When like a top undrafted free agent, say Gabriel Murphy last year got $225 guaranteed, that's almost as much as some 4th round picks have guaranteed in their contracts. So, I mean, at a certain point in the draft, it's better to be undrafted because A, you could potentially get more guaranteed money. B, you get to choose your team, check out the rooster, see where you have a better opportunity. So that's why Spielman loved those 7th round picks. I mean, there was years where Spielman would have 4 7th rounders because basically it's just calling dibs on UDFAs, so you don't have to spend guaranteed money and you don't have to bid against other teams. It's kind of genius, to be honest. But I don't know. Like I think Kwesi will end up with 7 in this draft. +1 from the Sam Darnold tag and trade. At least 1. Lastly, R-Free, another OG Jerome. Wanted to start by saying a big thank you to you for not being sponsored, especially by a gambling site. I really respect the fact you put the work instead of selling out your followers. Well, I got some news. No, I'm just playing. I mean, we may take on a sponsor down the line, but I mean, it's got to be the right fit. And we've had sports betting and alcohol sponsors in the past, but definitely going to be very selective in the future. And it's not coming from like a puritanical point of view, because I take part in both, but I do understand that, the demo of the show, like, it's definitely more family friendly. I know that a lot of viewers, watch the show with their kids too. And, like, you're bombarded with booze and sports betting advertisements enough as it is, so you don't need this in one more spot, although it would put some more money in my pocket. Put a little something in the Venmo. Anyways, bigger question: how bad is the sports betting thing going to look in 10 to 15 years? It has become the new fantasy football, and ads target young people. There's going to be significant drop off in sports betting in probably 5 to 6 years, because the market is super saturated right now, and it will condense. Like, some of these smaller sports books and operators will be eaten up by some of the larger ones, and it's just what happens. Plus, as more states regulate sports betting, Minnesota, it's still up in the air. I mean, they were close last year, but what it comes down to is that lines are going to get worse. Like a normal game where you would bet -110, the standard eventually is going to be -115, and you can't beat a hole that big. All right, so what it comes down to, plus the fact that parlays are so prevalent now, it's ridiculous, because sportsbooks love parlays, and they don't mind paying out when you hit a long shot one, because it's usually about half the true odds. Right, so when you win, they win, and it's just ridiculous. And eventually, at a certain point, people will lose their appetite for sports betting, because it's hard to be a profitable sports bettor, even the best of people. And when the odds are literally stacked against you, like, it's impossible. Like, if you're consistently betting like a -115, or if you're consistently betting any form of parlay, you are not going to win, straight up, right? And I think that eventually, like, I understand people who treat sports betting as entertainment. It's great. I always compare it to, going to the movies. Like, you go to the movies, pay your, was it $15 nowadays? No. You pay your $15, you watch a movie, entertainment. $15 is gone, but you got your entertainment. And with sports betting, it's the same thing. Maybe with a couple extra zeros. Like, say that your budget for football season is $1,000. You set that aside. You can light it on fire. If it's gone, it's gone, and that's it. Everything's cordoned off. So you had $1,000 worth of entertainment for the football season. That's perfectly reasonable. But as the juice in the vig is just unbeatable, and the payouts on these parlays get more ridiculous and lower, I mean, it's just, the market's going to cannibalize itself, and people will just get sick of losing thousands year after year. right? And the fact that so again, I am a person who likes to put a jelly bean on things now and then. I refuse to have a mobile app on my phone because I don't want it to be so easy like that. Because especially if you get frustrated, like humans are humans. Like if you get frustrated, you go on a little bit of tilt. All of a sudden, you have a bad beat in a game. All of a sudden, you're betting every single quarter and halftime and everything like that. And don't get me started about in-game odds; are just ludicrous, right? And all of a sudden, like you just flush that thing, right? Whereas I'm not someone who just bets on a game to bet a game. Like I gotta feel like after the research that we have a little smidgen of an edge. And you live with those results. So I think that I don't know, like the market is not good, right? And I think right now it really is the Wild West, and I think that a lot of the advertising is really irresponsible, and you're basically turning sports betting into a video game where you can easily lose hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars without blinking an eye, right? And I think the advertising right now is a little bit irresponsible, but that's me on my soapbox. But other than that, I have no thoughts. And again, I am a partaker of sports betting and a partaker of alcohol, but I just don't. It really frustrates the bejesus out of me. You watch like a pregame show on ESPN or even NFL Network or FS1, and it's all about the line, the over-under, the player props. It's no. Anyways, that's it. Q&A on this beautiful day. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.